Alright, what's up with the YouTube fam? I'm back again with another video. So listen, man. Alright, Tyrese has responded to GIA KC and DJ Envy again about the whole situation that took place with them. Now listen, they're accusing him of flirting and doing inappropriate things with her. And I feel like that, you know, a lot of people are allowing people to cross too many lines in their relationships. You know, it need to be boundaries. And I feel like no man on earth should be contacting my wife or having direct access to my woman. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I'm feeling, man. You know, some of y'all can call it immature or insecure, like I said before, but I'm going to be myself. You know, I don't give a damn what nobody got to say about me. And I'm not here to argue with nobody about being the way that I choose to be. Nobody should be having that type of access to your spouse, husband or wife. None whatsoever. Ain't no way in the hell none of this shit should have took place, in my personal opinion. But you know, they probably are. Well, I can just put it like this: DJ Envy probably had a little bit more, you know, faith in their relationship as far as like being friends. You know, he trusted his wife, he trusted his homeboy, and ultimately, allegedly, it could have possibly, you know, been some inappropriate behavior that took place. I feel like that, you know, entertaining someone, knowing that you are in a relationship ain't a good idea as well. But at the same time, you know, GIA Casey was ignoring a lot of the messages. You know, you can see Tyrese was double texting and things like that in the messages. But at the time, you can see that he was saying that he was going through a mental illness and stuff like that, and she respected that also. But ultimately, man, we got the video footage of him just basically saying what he had to say about what they said about him. And he said some interesting things. He said he wanted DJ Envy to pull up. He said he been telling DJ Envy to pull up and things like that. He said he wasn't trying to be on the friendly shit as far as like trying to make things right. He just said that he knew him and he told him to pull up and let's just talk it out like men, or let's just chill, or whatever the case may be, since they knew each other. I feel like if a man been dealing with my wife in any type of way, shape, form, or fashion, it was inappropriate, you know, it's no coming back from that. But hey, it is what it is. Everybody move differently, and it's different strokes for different folks. But let's go ahead and see what Tyrese got to say about the whole situation at hand, and let me know y'all thoughts and opinions on this whole situation. Do y'all feel like that he was trying to get with this woman, or do y'all honestly feel like that he was just trying to be a friend? Just let me know your honest thoughts and opinions. Let's get into it.
It's funny how when you try and clear your name, we're still doing grabbing text messages out of the sky and coming up with things that I said or did that was allegedly inappropriate, flirting. Like, listen, I want to talk to the men for a second, to all the fellas, all the real men who don't play no motherfucking games when it comes to their wife or their girl.
Alright, what's up?
I'll talk to you for a second.
What's good, my boy?
Imagine a man stepping in to help you and your family in any capacity.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, you're now flirting and disrespecting that man's wife. Would you still be in touch with that nigga? In any capacity?
To answer the question, hell no. But I'm also not going to let it get to that point anyway. You feel me? But if I was to do that, no. Nigga, get your ass on somewhere. You trying to holler at my woman and ain't with this shit. You better go on now. And you better be glad I'm married, because I would have got you back in the same way, you know. And I also don't rock with that showing messages, bro. I do not like this shit. So lame to me. But at the same time, if somebody trying to expose you or go all the way in on you, well, you leaving them no choice but to do this. Tyrese probably didn't want to do this shit, so I can understand them showing it. But to answer that question, no, hell no. Get your goddamn ass on. Let's get back into it.
Would you let your wife still be in touch with that man?
No.
In any capacity?
I wonder what would happen first.
Likely, your answer is going to be no. You know why your answer is going to be no? Because that is a line that no man should ever call. I don't give a fuck who you are, what you've done for me and my family. There is no way that any man will ever be able to disrespect me, especially my wife. So you sit with that for a second. And then, because I got so much love for First Lady It's obvious that they had some pre-conversations before she jumped on and did the interview. I'm not on the radio, am I? Of course. Listen, guys. One of the most inconsistent, obvious part to this whole thing
is what?
Is that you claim that I disrespected you and your wife while I was on psych meds. And then we've still been in touch for another 4 years on text chains and communicating directly. And your wife even mentioned that there's been times that while Envy was laying in bed next to her, we were on the phone chopping it up about whatever.
Oh, no.
We're chopping it up about.
I'm not doing that.
The disrespect had already happened. The alleged flirting and all the shit that you're claiming had already happened. So not only am I on the phone chopping it up and having good vibes and conversation, which has always been, but you're now a man that's laying in the same bed with your wife who disrespected your wife. It's not adding up, bro.
Now he got some points right here now, but at the same time, Envy probably was sitting back just trying to see what type of dude he was. But I feel like that this shit shouldn't be happening. You in the bed talking to this nigga, man, I'ma slap that goddamn phone across the room. What the hell are you doing? You crazy? You lost your goddamn mind. You were here on the phone in the bed with this nigga. That's if they wasn't trying to run a play on him. And he said before, y'all can record me and you won't even hear me trying to cross your wife. Now, Tyrese was popping big shit though in the messages, man, showing her his island, showing his new Rolls Royce and things like that. And he said he was doing it for the simple fact that they like cars and stuff like that. DJ Envy is a car man. He have car shows and stuff like that, which is understandable. And I mean, if he was trying to do something slick, any way that you twist it or turn it, he got it so good as far as like being a friend. So you can't really implement him in anything without actually having bona fide facts. Like he was really doing something. As far as like saying certain things or making compliments and stuff like that, he probably can just say easily that this is my friend, this is what I do. So, you know, there's so many ways you can try to make it, but any way it go, it reverts back to him being just a friend. So, you know, I feel like any type of way that anybody trying to say anything is gonna fall back on that. But I want to know y'all thoughts and opinions though. I'm not basically saying nobody's done nothing in no way, shape, form, or fashion on either side. But I do want to know what y'all feel about this. Let's get back into it though.
It's not adding up, man.
Can't talk to my wife on the goddamn phone in the bed.
Y'all do know that 2017, the year, is very different than 2023, right? So at the end of the day, man, what I want to do again is I just want us to move on. Let's just stop. Okay? And when I say you're a liar, I'm not going to change my story, bro. I'm a Capricorn, man. We don't do well with being lied on. Period. I will clear my name and defend my name to the end of the earth. Who stays in touch with any man who's allegedly flirting and trying to take shots at their first lady. Like, yo, bro, to even have those words to come out your mouth is more hurtful than any joke y'all ever cracked on that show. Like, I don't play those games, bro. Period. And the last thing I'm gonna say, and again, I'm done with it. As we were going back and forth on our text chain, communicate about us finally getting on a call, which would have been on Instagram Live, to talk about what God put on my heart to do for this family. And his wife was telling the truth when she mentioned, no, I think Amy was telling the truth. Well, he was telling the truth about us going from talking about the book and talking about all that it took for them to do the work. They did the work. I stepped in to help in any way I could, but they did the work. But we were going to transition into talking about my ex, not bashing her, not tearing her down, not ripping her into pieces, but talking about how am I doing? How are you holding up? You know, what has this divorce and this whole thing been like for you? I would never use a stage or a platform from Envy and his first lady to go on an IG Live and start bashing my ex. That's just not true. So, look, man, Envy, with all due respect, bro, I never lied to your first lady. I never did anything behind her back. I'm not in the middle of a lawsuit and a Ponzi scheme and all the people you lied to allegedly with your real estate partners and all that shit you running around with, dealing with. I never lied.
For those who don't know what he's talking about, basically DJ Envy is involved in the whole situation where people are alleging that he stole millions of dollars from them. And like when you throw stuff up like this right here, I feel like that the friendship is over with, in my opinion. Once you start going too goddamn low and too personal, I gotta go ahead and just cut this shit short. And I mean, he probably feel like that when they came at him, the way that they came at him as well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just feeling like that if they can't come back from this, I respect it. But I feel like that when certain lines are crossed, it ain't no coming back from none of that shit. Especially when a woman comes into place, or a husband and a wife, or a personal business I got going on in the streets or in the courts or whatever the case may be. So yeah, like I said before, man, I don't do this internet shit. Exposing each other online is so lame to me, and I feel like that once it happens, ain't no coming back from that. I always have felt like that. I don't give a damn if you're a family member or not. Once you go to the internet talking about me, that's like you showing out in front of company. You know what I'm saying? You showing out in front of company. You ain't got to do all that shit. Go to the internet talking bad about me and all that when you can just text me directly and shit like that. You want everybody to know what we got going on. You think you high side. You think you really just doing your shit. You know what I'm saying? Showing out in front of company. Once you go to the internet on me, man, it's a wrap. You might as well just call it a friendship, relationship, goddamn family ship, whatever you want to call it here. This shit is done. I ain't doing that. But yeah, let's get back into this shit and see what the hell Tyrese talking about, man.
About anything. You got all kind of niggas coming at you because you say one thing and it ain't adding up. So did I disrespect your wife on psych meds? Or did I disrespect your wife and you that I've still been in touch with over the last 4 years? It ain't adding up, bro. So what I would say is, let's all three of us make a commitment to say, we are not on the same page. We don't see these things through the same lens. And this is biblical. No good deed shall go unpunished. I'm not the type of nigga that be pulling out no text messages but bro, if when I lose sleep when someone lies on me and attacks my character.
Okay. I respect it.
To all of the men, whether you're a husband, a boyfriend, a baby daddy, 4 years later, would you be okay with a man who is flirting and disrespecting your wife or have disrespected your wife, allegedly talking on a call to your wife while you're laying in the bed? It ain't adding up, man. So let's just move on. Let's move on. And at no point was I ever a charity case. I went through and I've been through some shit. But nobody takes a phone call from me while their husband is in the same bed. Let's move on. And at no point was I ever a charity case. I went through and I've been through some shit. But nobody takes a phone call from me while their husband is in the same bed. And I've crossed the line, said and did something inappropriate. And whoever this nigga is that you talking about, saying he did that to me too, give that nigga my direct cell phone number, whoever the fuck he is. Cause I don't run from no smoke, bro. I'm a man first. And there's just certain things you don't say and you don't do. And I know this all too well. I'm not a nigga that grew up in the suburbs. I'm not a nigga that grew up around white people that don't understand black culture and the sensitivities of lines and boundaries and things that you don't cross. Did I disrespect you and your wife when I was on psych meds or not? If the story ain't adding up. So at the end of the day, man, let's just stop talking about it. You're on your way to Atlanta in the next couple of days to DJ at some venue and event. If we want to be a man about this shit, cause y'all been coming at me for 5 years on the Breakfast Club. I finally got a chance to go in there and not talk about you, but talk to you and Charlemagne. And I did think that the interview was something that, oh shit, everybody watching, looking, paying attention to what's going on. I'm clear about it. And I know that this is going to influence a lot of us as men to stop festering and holding on to things or assuming this was said and done and get away from all of that goofy shit. Because in this life, I've learned people will talk about you, but never talk to you. And if you just talk to a nigga, if I said and did something, I'm never above an apology. I don't gaslight, I don't play victim, and I don't run from no smoke, especially if it's something that I said and did and caused. So when you get to Atlanta, I'll text you my address. Nobody's gonna be around and no camera's gonna be rolling. What do you gotta say? What do you feel? What's on your mind that we never had an opportunity to chop it up about while we're on the Breakfast Club because there was only so much time to address it? But y'all ain't gonna keep coming at me on your show. And I'm not gonna keep responding on Instagram. You're on your way to my city, where I now live, the ATL. A real man will pull up. Which I've tried to get you to do at least 7 times since you've been in and out of the city over the last 4 or 5 years. So do you feel a way about me or not? Did I disrespect or say anything or do anything inappropriate towards your wife allegedly or not? Because once we have the conversation, this shit is over. We move the fuck on.
Straight up.
I'm sure y'all niggas are having the time of y'all life with all this shit playing out for the public to see. But I'm gonna tell y'all again, not everybody is gonna like me or have to like me. Not everybody's gonna agree with me or see things through my lens or my experiences. When you put things out there in the universe, you know what you do? You open yourself up for people to have agreements and disagreements about what the issues and the topics are. I don't need nobody to side with me. I don't need nobody to agree with me. I don't need nobody to even like me. I did what I did from the heart. And sadly, this should not be the outcome. That's it. Do we want to keep pulling our receipts? Do we want to keep mentioning each other on social media, on the breakfast? Do we want to just keep it going? Because at this point, it looks like it's all being done because niggas is trying to go viral. I'm a man, bro. Come see me. I'll give you my address. I'm right here.
This is what I seen right here.
If it's that serious and you festering and you really feel like I allegedly said and did.
Damn, I wish I would have heard that part right there. But yeah, man, basically, long story short, I said what I had to say. I feel like that, you know, Tyrese get holding something. It sound like he got something to say, huh? He keep on saying like, let it go, like just like stop poking the bear in a sense. You feel me? But I just want to know what y'all feel about this, bro. I feel like that anybody that's going through a situation when it's pertaining to a husband and a wife, because you are allowing certain things to reach a certain, you know, plateau, and I feel like you should never do that. You know, you gotta nip shit in the bud before it start happening. I don't trust the soul, hell no. And yeah, man, I mean, people can try to manipulate certain situations and say, oh, you don't trust me, why come I can't communicate with him? If you want to communicate with somebody that I'm cool with to a certain extent where it's causing us problems in our household, then hell no, I'm not rocking with it. Not saying GIA was like that, but I'm just saying, you know, a lot of people try to make excuses for shit like this. And if you're going through something like that, you better reevaluate who you're dealing with. Why you want to communicate with somebody else so bad? You feel me? But hey, that's all I got to say about the situation, man. I feel like that Tyrese, you know, saying what he feel, he got the right to reply the way that he's replying because it was all brought out to the public. I feel like this shit should have been addressed over the phone months ago. Like, everything should have been all out in the open. There should be no more to think about or talk about as far as this situation when we communicate again. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no point of prolonging on nothing. But overall, that's all I got to say. And yeah, man, I just want to know what y'all feel about everything. I will holler at y'all later on another video. All right.